Welcome back to Grammar Grade 12. This is Unit 9, Lesson 65, and we're deep into the usage glossary, that alphabetical rundown of the words English speakers mix up the most. Today's stretch runs from allusion all the way to could've. None of these are hard once you see the logic behind them. The trouble is that they hide in everyday habits. So we'll take them one pair at a time, learn the rule, and lock it in with a fresh example. Let's get started. Today's lesson is a usage glossary, a tour through 8 pairs of words that are easy to confuse, arranged alphabetically from allusion all the way to could've. We'll start with allusion and allusion, then anywheres and everywheres, then being as and being that. From there we move to beside and besides, between and among, borrow, lend, and loan, then bring and take, and we'll finish with could've, one of the most common mistakes in all of English. For every pair, I'll give you the rule and a fresh example. The theme running through all of them is the same. Let the meaning, not your habit, choose the word. Let's begin. Let's begin at the top of the glossary with a pair that sounds almost identical, allusion and allusion. An allusion with an A is an indirect reference, a mention of something without naming it outright. Her speech made an allusion to Lincoln. She pointed to him without stopping to explain. An allusion with an I is a false idea or a false appearance, something that isn't really there. The desert heat created an illusion of water shimmering on the road. So keep them straight this way. An allusion is a reference. An allusion is a false picture. Next pair, really a match set. Anywheres and everywheres. Here, the rule is short and absolute. These words never take a final S. It is never anywheres. It is simply anywhere. It is never everywheres. It is simply everywhere. I looked everywhere, but found it nowhere. Clean, with no extra S hanging off the end. The same goes for their cousins, nowhere and somewhere, never nowheres or somewheres. So whenever you hear that tempting S creeping onto the end of one of these words, drop it. Anywhere, everywhere, always without the S. Third on our list, being as and being that. You'll hear both in casual speech. Being as it was late, we left. Being that she knew the way, she drove. But in careful writing, both are non-standard. The fix is easy, and it always works. Use because or since instead. Because it rained, the picnic moved indoors. Since you asked, I'll explain. Both because and since introduce a reason cleanly and correctly. So anytime being as or being that shows up in your writing, reach for because or since in its place. Fourth pair, and this one turns on a single letter. Beside, without the final S, means next to. It's about position. A tall oak grows beside the barn, right at its side. Add an S and the meaning shifts. Besides, with the S, means in addition to. Besides the salad, we ordered soup. Soup as well as the salad. So the S makes all the difference. Beside tells you where something sits. Besides tells you what else is included. Beside is position. Besides means also. Fifth, a pair that depends entirely on counting. Between and among. Use between when you're talking about two things, two people, two choices, two places. Split the prize between the two finalists, just the pair of them. Use among when there are 3 or more, considered together as a group. The rumor spread among the whole class, many students, all mixed together. Picture it this way. Between draws a line connecting 2 points. Among sprinkles something through a crowd. So count first. 2 means between. Three or more means among. Sixth, a trio that trips up a lot of writers. Borrow, lend, and loan. Borrow and lend are opposites. To borrow is to take something you'll give back. May I borrow your umbrella? You're receiving it. To lend is to give something out temporarily. I'll lend you my notes tonight. You're handing it over. So the borrower takes and the lender gives. What about loan? In careful writing, loan works best as a noun, the thing itself. The bank approved the loan. When you need the action, use lend, not loan. Borrow to take, lend to give, and save loan for the noun. Seventh, another pair about direction. Bring and take. The difference is all about which way something moves relative to you, the speaker. Bring means to carry something toward the speaker, from farther away to nearer. Please bring the mail inside to me. It's coming closer to where I am. Take means to carry something away from the speaker, from nearer to farther. Take these letters out to the mailbox. They're heading away from me. So picture yourself as the anchor point. If it moves toward you, it's bring. If it moves away, it's take. Last on today's list, and the most important one to burn into memory, could've. Here's the rule in a single line. Could've is always wrong. Every time. What tricks the ear is the contraction. Could've, spoken quickly, sounds exactly like could've. But the word you actually want is have. It's could have. We could have won the game. Never could have. And the same holds for the whole family. Would have, should have, must have, might have. Never would have, should have, must have. So whenever you hear that of after could, would, should, or must, stop and write have instead. The word is have, not of. Before we practice, let's gather the trickiest calls into a quick mental checklist. 1. Is it a reference or a false picture? A reference is an allusion. A false picture is an illusion. 2. Do you mean next to or in addition to? Next to is beside. In addition to is besides. 3. Are there two things or three or more? Two takes between. Three or more takes among. 4. Is something moving toward you or away from you? Toward you is bring. Away from you is take. And 5, the big one. It is always could have, never could have. Keep those 5 questions handy and you'll catch these slips every time. Let's try some. Time to practice. In this first set, I'll give you a sentence with 2 choices in parentheses. Read it, decide which word belongs, and pause before I reveal the answer. Think about meaning, not habit. The poem contains an blank to a Greek goddess. Allusion or illusion? The poem is making an indirect reference to the goddess, pointing to her without a full explanation. That's an allusion with an A. The poem contains an allusion to a Greek goddess. Blank chess, she plays 3 other board games. Beside or besides? The sentence means, in addition to chess, she plays others. In addition to calls for besides, with the S. Besides chess, she plays 3 other board games. The inheritance was divided blank the 4 cousins. Between or among? Count the people. 4 cousins. Well more than 2, considered together as a group. 3 or more calls for among. The inheritance was divided among the 4 cousins. Now the second set. These sentences turn on direction, on who gives and who takes, and on that stubborn could-have trap. Same routine. Read, choose, and pause before I answer. When you come to my house, please blank your guitar. Bring or take. The guitar is moving toward the speaker, coming to where I am. Movement toward the speaker is bring. When you come to my house, please bring your guitar. Could you blank me your calculator for the exam? Borrow or lend. Here, the other person would be the one giving the calculator, handing it over to me. Giving is lend, not borrow. Could you lend me your calculator for the exam? With a little more practice, you blank past. Could have or could have. Remember the ironclad rule. Could have is always wrong. The word is have, so it has to be could have. With a little more practice, you could have passed. Let's pull the whole glossary together. Allusion is a reference. Illusion is a false picture. Beside means next to. Besides means in addition to. Between is for two. Among is for three or more. Bring carries something toward you. Take carries it away. And a few flat rules to keep. Anywhere and everywhere, never take a final S. Being as and being that give way to because or since. And it is always could have, never ever could have. Every one of these comes down to the same habit. Slow down and let the meaning choose the word. Next time, in Lesson 66, we'll continue the glossary from different from to irregardless, sorting out another run of words that love to trade places. I'll see you there.